2021 court data, I want to go over that real quick. This is the data with the court cases in South Carolina. In 2021, 6 different defendants were charged with human trafficking in South Carolina state courts. Overall, 31 charges of human trafficking were closed in state courts in 2021. As of this report, there are 52 human trafficking cases pending in South Carolina state courts. Our partnership with the Polaris Project, who runs the National Human Trafficking Hotline, positions us to gather and release data each year. Now, I'm going to share some of that data with you. Now, the top 10 counties of reported human trafficking activity are as follows. Now, before I say this, and I'll say this at the end, if you're in one of these top 10 counties, that's not basically saying that's where the most human trafficking is occurring. That's saying where most of the human trafficking is being reported. You could have a county with a very low report number, but with a lot of activity and people just don't know about it. So I want to qualify that. Obviously, coming in at number 1, and this is consecutive years, is Horry County. Coming in at number 2 is Richland County. Number 3 is Greenville County. Number 4, Charleston. 5, Spartanburg. 6, Anderson. 7, York. 8, Dorchester. 9, Greenwood. And coming in at number 10 is a 6-way tie. Aiken County, Cherokee County, Colleton County, Florence County, Lexington County, and Orangeburg County. And if you want to see all the data that I'm talking about, you can find it in our 2021 annual report, which has all of the data and objectives of the State Human Trafficking Task Force. But all of that data can be found here if you go to our website or if you go to humantraffickingscag.gov. Humantraffickingscag.gov is where you can find this report. This data exemplifies the effort to raise awareness of trafficking and through the hotline around our state. Now, there were 121 human trafficking cases reported in South Carolina, which is down from 139 last year. So 121 human trafficking cases reported this year, which is down from 139 last year. The number of victims recorded in South Carolina is up from 179 last year to 206 this year. Oops. Last year 179, this year 206. Now again, in that report I just showed you, it's going to go into all of this, but I'm just going to briefly tell you just a few metrics we've gathered from the Polaris data and the other sources of data that I've mentioned earlier. The top 5 identified sex trafficking venues are as follows. The first one's interesting. Internet-based commercial sex sites. This became number 1 in 2020. Why do you think that is? People being locked in, and so now they're using the internet as a tool or a resource to exploit people. Illicit massage parlors or spa businesses, pornography, hostess or a strip club, personal sexual servitude like an escort, that's how they label it now, like an escort service. The top 4 identified labor trafficking venues on the labor side: hospitality, forestry or reforestation, agriculture farms, animal husbandry, and finally construction. The top 8 methods of recruitment: job offer or an ad, intimate partner, familial relationship, false promise or through fraud, abduction, posing as a benefactor, something that is smuggling related, or through coercion. Those are methods of recruitment. Top 6 recruiter relationships to the victim. Think about this for a second. Here we go. Family member or caregiver, intimate partner, employer, a labor recruiter, contractor, friend, acquaintance, co-worker, or a dealer or an illicit substance provider. The top number of those are all people with a personal relationship, not a stranger. As we have reflected on the data provided by the hotline, we continue to see reports of increased labor and sex trafficking even through the pandemic. The role of families and intimate partners as recruiters became a top method during the pandemic. Again, that pandemic, it really had an effect. Under the Attorney General's Office leadership, the state task force will continue to shine the light on the issue of trafficking in South Carolina.